Good icy morning to most of Texas. Happy snow day. I got a lot of requests yesterday about kind of my journey that I had with gastric bypass. Had gastric bypass December of 2016, so just came up on my year date. Current starting weight was 318. Current weight 161. Holla. So I actually don't know math off the top of my head to know how many pounds that is total lost. I kind of don't keep up with that anymore. But anyway, originally was going to have the sleeve. Went in for an endoscopy and found out that whenever I had my gallbladder taken out that there were some complications. They didn't do it right or something. So had to have a gastric bypass. Now my doctor that I used was fantastic, and he was like, gastric bypass is the Cadillac of gastric surgery. So really you're kind of cheating yourself. So go ahead and have the gold choice of the gastric bypass. Scared me a lot. Because I didn't really know what to expect. I know a lot about the sleeve, but not a lot about gastric bypass. Sorry, that's somebody opening my front door. Anyway, my ADD, squirrel. But anyway, so didn't have to do a lot of like nutritional classes. I've seen a lot of you guys talk about, oh, you had to go to a dietitian a lot, you had to do a lot of counseling, blah, blah, blah. I only went to one counseling thing, didn't go to a nutritionist or anything. It was like, hey, you're approved, let's do it. And I was like, woo, okay. So kind of blind going into it, didn't know what to expect. And had, I believe it was like the 19th of December, went in, had the surgery. Remember waking up after the surgery, like thinking, oh, is that a light? I'm going to it. Come to find out, my blood pressure had dropped really bad. I was on blood pressure medication prior to surgery. And anyway, it bottomed out, and I couldn't have any pain medicine for a couple of days. Had to stay in the hospital. At one point, I remember my husband like standing over me with his little prayer hands, help me Jesus, and all this. And I thought, wow, I'm a goner, this is it. But I survived. Was out 3 days after surgery. Went home. It was terrible. I'm not gonna lie. And that's kind of why I want to post this video, because a lot of people, and I understand everybody's different. A lot of y'all are like, well, I've never had any complications. It's all great. Life's good. Woo woo. For me, it was a hell. I had a lot of complications. I had kidney stones. I had an ulcer. I was hospitalized like 5 different times within 6 months of having surgery. Right after surgery, on liquid diet, I found out really fast that they bring you a cup and it has like liquid medication in it. It's just like a little medicine cup. And I took a drink and it was like, whew, whoa, I'm really full. And they were like, shit just got real, didn't it? And I was like, oh my God, is that all I'm ever going to be able to do? And, well, so I lived like that, just little sips out of little medicine cups. I had like tons of little medicine cups for weeks, like, oh, I need to drink liquid out, at this time. So, I didn't get the recommended liquid intake at all. Like, the first 2 weeks, I was pretty much just in a bed thinking I'm going to die. It was over Christmas, so I actually stayed with my parents, and so just slept a lot, took a lot of pain medication. It was pretty bad. But then went through the liquid phase, found out I couldn't have anything with artificial sweeteners. It would make me sick. And so when I say sick, when you're a gastric bypass patient, you throw up. But you don't actually throw up anything. So you're standing there like thinking that you're going to throw up and you really don't. And you're just kind of like a choking chicken standing over your toilet thinking, I need the reward of actually throwing up for all the work that I'm doing, standing here dry heaving. But you never do. So, yay. But you'll learn to throw up like a pro. So, yay, look forward to that. But, went through the mushy phase. Okay. Once you get through the liquid phase, everybody's like, oh, you got to get your protein in and all of this. Well, I think we probably spent like over $500 on trying to find a protein powder that I could tolerate without automatically going to try to throw it up. And went to my doctor and was really discouraged by that because I was like, wow, how am I going to be able to do what I'm supposed to do if I can't even consume any protein? And I know how important protein is in your diet and how that helps you to build muscle back and all of this. Well, he was like, well, don't worry about it. Just try to do whatever you can do. And so once I kind of got past that mentality, it got a lot easier. I didn't have the standard of setting the bar so high and then having that level of not being able to accomplish that goal. So with that goal not being there, that was very helpful. So in the first stages after you have gastric bypass, I feel like nobody informs you on what your body's doing on the inside. Think about it. Before you had gastric bypass, I never looked at it as I was really an unhealthy eater, but the amount that I ate was way too much. And if you consume Cokes, carbs, bread stuff, all of that, sugar, you'll find after gastric bypass or sleeve, you have a really hard time having anything with sugar in it. So remember that some carbs turn to sugar whenever they're processing, so you have to limit that as well. But your body is starving. So let me repeat that. Your body is starving. We were watching this TV show called Alone, and these people were stranded on this island and they had to survive, and they had to get their own food. They had to, whatever they could find to eat, then that's what they could eat. So you see these people and they're like, I'm dying. My brain, they're kind of going crazy. It's kind of like Tom Hanks, on the island talking to a volleyball. Because when your body is starving, you're literally consuming yourself. So your body is eating your fat reserves that you have. So that's why you lose so much weight, is because your body's constantly trying to overcompensate for the calories that you consumed prior. So whenever you're not consuming any calories, pretty much, you go into starvation mode, which is physically the hardest thing that I've ever done in my life. So I want to be really honest. I want you to have the honest truth, because I've spent hours and hours looking for videos where people are honest in their journey, even if it's a hard journey. For months, it was very dark. I had to dig deep to find out what my will was, what my strength was, why I was doing this. Because at this point, from having the surgery until 4 months, regretted having the surgery. You hear buyer's remorse. You think, what in the crap did I just do to myself? Why did I do this? Why did I think that this was important? Because I'm telling you right now, it's going to be the hardest thing that you will ever go through. You're going to have to figure out why you got to be as big as you were to begin with. That's the key, is that this is more of a mental game that you're playing with yourself than it is a physical thing. And nobody told me that, how hard it would be to actually go through this process. So I'm looking over my notes because I made notes because I'm highly ADD. So at about 4 months, you start to feel better. Um, so you are from your liquid phase. Just try G2 Gatorades are pretty good. Like I said, they have artificial sweeteners. I found that I could only have anything with sucralose in it. Now you have to think whenever you're on your liquid and your mushy phase that these are diets that are high in fat content because you're eating things like cottage cheese, pimento cheese, um, mashed potatoes, things like that, that you're probably not going to consume a lot of once you get to your real food stage. You're not going to want to eat, mashed potatoes really ever again. Like, that's not healthy. So, and some other videos, I'll talk about how to change from your diet once you get into solid foods, and how to kind of make healthier lifestyle choices when that phase comes, because that's when the real fun starts, when you start to be able to eat stuff. But I will say it's very limited for a while. I mean, you're going to go and you're going to fix your plate and you're going to be so excited. Like, oh my gosh, I can eat real food. Ooh, yes. You're going to fix your little baby plate with like a lettuce taco. Ugh, you get a romaine lettuce, break it off, get you some taco meat, put it on there, get you a tomato, dice it up, put it on there. You're going to be excited. And then 2 seconds after you take one bite, you're going to be over your Johnny best friend, the turlet, throwing it all back up. Just pre warning you. So don't be discouraged when you are really excited about being able to eat something and then you can't, because that's going to happen. And it's going to be different. It's going to change weekly. Like, one time you're going to eat, some scrambled eggs, and you're going to be like, yeah, this is kind of mushy. It's going to be great. And you're going to throw it up. So don't give up. Try again. Because in a week later, it could work. And that could be something to really get excited about, because you're finally getting in some protein and you're getting in stuff that's good for you. So I had it in December. By May, so I'm also working full time at this time. Had a little cot in my office, because when your body's consuming itself, you get tired, really tired, just from walking. Doing a load of laundry and walking that laundry up your stairs to put it up, you will feel like you just ran a 26-mile marathon. You're going to want to just pass out because you're so exhausted. Know that that's normal, because your body is working 10 times as hard because it's in shock. It's not used to what you're doing. So don't give up. Don't get discouraged. Don't let those dark places take control. Know that it will get better. And people would say, well, if you can just make it 6 months and you'll have it. That is the God's honest truth. 6 months, you got this. What is 6 months out of the rest of your life? Nothing. I come from a family that we have so many health problems. One of my favorite people in the world, my grandmother, recently passed away, and she was 69. She had been so large for so long that she was practically immobile for the last 15 years because her knees were so bad. And then she got lymphoma, which is a treatable cancer, but couldn't fight that because she had been so large for so long. And I knew, I'm not going to do that. I am not going to be that person. I'm not going to let food control me. Food is fuel. That's it. It's not to control us. And until you get to that mindset, you're not going to be able to be successful at this. I see all of these people talk about what am I going to do when I stretch my stomach out? What am I going to do if I gain weight back? Well, we all gained weight in the first place for a reason. When you go through those dark places, you find out what that reason was. And you kick that reason in the ass and tell it to leave. Because you got this, man. And it's going to be the best thing that you've done for yourself. And then, how do you do it long term? How do we do this long term? And I've yet to kind of find any videos from anybody past a year. So I'm going to try to be that person. So that's why I kind of wanted to start doing this, is to kind of be a motivation for myself, keep me accountable, and to be helpful to others. Because when you're alone going through this, it can be scary. And so we're all here for each other, and we just need to reach out to each other and be encouraging and supportive along the way. So now let me get to July. Because July, this whole world turned around. This mama found out my kids are important, my husband's important. That's all great. But do you know who the most important person in my life is? Is me. I have to do me first before I can do anybody else. So my kids know that. Like, mom's having her special mom time. Let her go to the gym, work out, do her, and then she'll be better whenever she comes home. She'll be better and more aware, more there whenever I'm supposed to be there. And when you have 3 boys and I have twin 12-year-olds, and they're like over 6 foot tall, so that's 13 shoe. They're ADD, or they're ADHD, and chasing them is tiring. So this has been the best thing that I've done. I can run circles around my kids, so it's pretty good. I just wanted to give a little bit of encouragement and let you know that I'm here. If anybody has any questions, or if there's some things that you want to know more about, we try to do most everything as much organically as we can. I pretty much cook everything that we put in our body. I do organic medicines, make my own witch doctory is what I call it. And just try to be positive and get through this thing we call life. So if you have anything that you want to suggest or that you want to comment on, this is for everybody. So may y'all have a blessed day and bundle up out there. Bye.